Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to All About Sports. Jamal Adams of the New York Jets is coming off an all-pro season and has said he is frustrated by the lack of progress in communication and contract talks. He wants an extension that will make him among the highest-paid defensive players in the NFL. He has 2 years remaining on his contract, and the Jets don't appear to be interested in extending his deal until 2021. I'm your host, Luca Vitale, and joining me today is the dynamic duo of Just Talking About Sports, Ethan Polak and Matt Posner. How you guys doing?
Doing well.
Doing very great.
All right. So let's get started. Matt, I'm coming at you first. Would Jamal Adams be wrong to demand a trade?
No, he's not wrong to demand a trade, especially with the way the Jets organization has been running itself and the way they played last season. I think that Jamal Adams wants to be in a situation where he has success, at least a chance of success, and the Jets do not provide him with that at all. The part I do not like is the fact that he's in his mid-20s and already trying to chase a Super Bowl ring. If you look at the teams on his list, like the Ravens, the Cowboys, even though the Cowboys I'm not even sure would be a ring chaser, the 49ers, the Seahawks, etc., they're teams with legitimate chances at winning championships, except for the Texans and the Cowboys. But why is it always Texas? Jamal Adams, I think, needs to realize that sometimes you got to be part of a team that you're not going to be good at. That's not going to be good. It's part of not being a crybaby and staying on a team. You can't keep chasing rings your whole career. Even the players that were stuck on terrible teams, there are so many that we can count, NFL, NBA, etc., that stuck on their teams for their entire careers, even though they straight up suck. And I think that Jamal Adams is developing a poor trend at a young age.
He is definitely reaching or grasping. He's using social media as a tool for this too, and he's been kind of just encouraging this thing because I know he was drafted by the Jets, but show some loyalty towards your team. I mean, he came out on Twitter and basically gave out all the teams he wants to go to: Cowboys, Ravens, Texans, Chiefs, Eagles, 49ers, Seahawks. Does that sound like every single winning team? He's literally like ring chasing at such a young age. You don't see people like Larry Fitzgerald going after rings, as the man has been literally on the Cardinals for years and never requested a trade. You're seeing Adams go out for this. Yes, he's looking for higher paid money, but he's just encouraging this whole thing. I mean, he had an encounter with a Cowboys fan you guys saw on Twitter.
I did see that.
Yeah, the fan, when basically Adams was in Dallas and the fan asked if he was coming to the Cowboys, and he said, "I'm trying." Which is like, whoa, that's kind of a little bit crazy for a guy that's already asking for such things. But being from a player standpoint or a fan standpoint, anybody in the Jets are a failing organization. They have been struggling for years. They're just a mess, and they've always been. And from my experience with Adam Gase, who I now hate the most, I feel these Jets fans as they're definitely having to deal with Adam Gase. Thankfully he left Miami after we had to fire him, and now the Jets hired him and thought, oh, he'll be great. And now they're stuck with him. And Adam Gase has just not been one of the better head coaches in the league for the last few years. He's made it to the playoffs once with the Dolphins, and that was like his first year. And since then, he's just been trashed. So I don't think they're the best. The Jets last season finished 7-9 with an 0-4 start after 5 weeks. Yes, they had a bye week 2 to try and fix it, and they still failed. Their first win ended up coming against them Cowboys, but
they were 1-7 and they beat them Cowboys.
Yes. So, I mean, the Jets, they've just had so many opportunities to have success, especially this year when they rebranded themselves, signed people like Le'Veon Bell, Leonard Williams, Demaryius Thomas, and more people. There was so much hype surrounding the squad, and 7-9 just doesn't cut it. And I could see Adams' frustration, but I think if he was able to try and take it down a notch and not trying to freak out and keep asking for rings, I think he should maybe at least wait one more year if things don't work out this year, and they'll end up moving on from Sam Darnold and they'll officially tank. So I think he should wait one more year at the Jets and quit this drama or continue to add more drama.
I mean, you're not wrong about the drama part, but I just like to say this part once and for all. Sorry, since my eye. The Jets have not made the playoffs since Ethan and I were in elementary school. 2010. This is a pathetic.
I was in kindergarten. I'm just chilling around there. I didn't even know what the hell football was.
Pathetic organization. That's all you need to say about this team. And then you have Adam Gase as a coach. I don't know how he got this job at all. He did nothing spectacular in Miami, and you get a new job in the exact same division. Doesn't make sense to me. That doesn't. So let me answer the question for you. No, Jamal Adams would not be wrong to demand a trade here whatsoever. So he had 91 tackles last year, 17 quarterback hits, which led the team. He had 6.5 sacks, and then 5.5 of those came in the weeks of 9 and 13. So we see what Jamal Adams brings to the table when he's capable of. So this trade demand is associated with winning, obviously, and broken promises between himself and the Jets organization within Joe Douglas and Adam Gase. If you guys remember this last trade deadline last season, apparently Adams was on the trade block and he never was aware of that. And then Joe Douglas came on the media afterwards making excuses. We don't know what that's even about, but ultimately it comes down to Adams being the leader for the New York Jets. I don't see this team being led by I see ghosts Sam Darnold at all. This team goes as Jamal Adams goes. And it is him being the all-star he's been on defense and outperforming his rookie deal the last 2 years. This guy he's not only a good player, he's a great player. He's been the catalyst for the Jets, okay? He has made it loud and clear that he wants to win. He's reiterated he can't do it by himself, as well trying to create a winning culture within this Jets organization, which a winning culture within the Jets, I don't know if that's even possible nowadays. But he has gone out and gave it all on the field. He's being disrespected by the organization, and he's being talked to like he's not being the model player or the model leader or model citizen, and that's almost like a problem for him, in my opinion. So let's look at Christian McCaffrey. Let's take him for an example. He was upped because he was the face of the Carolina Panthers because Cam Newton was gone, and then the rest of the team was basically a bunch of players that no one really knows or a bunch of rookies. And he had 2 years left on his rookie deal. And that's what Jamal Adams, he deserves to be one of those higher paid defensive players in the league. Now, let me tell you this part. It is a tough trade. It's because where the Jets are in this particular situation, regardless of the coronavirus pandemic. This is actually the one place that the Jets actually have consistency since he's arrived in the organization. Now, with that being said, though, Jamal Adams, we all know he wants out of New York, period. I mean, you saw the list what he tweeted on Instagram Twitter, and what Adam Schefter said. It's all winning teams. Seattle, 49ers, the Ravens, Saints, you can go on about the list. That's a problem because when, like you said, Matt, when you're in your mid-20s and you're already chasing rings, that's an issue because like Ethan said about Larry Fitzgerald, and then you can even put Phillip Rivers in there. Phillip Rivers has never won a ring, and he's actually a pretty decent quarterback. So the thing that I have to say about this, the Jets need to be concerned about the precedent that letting Adams could go, what it could set. No team is going to want current or future players that they can think that they can talk or tweet their way out of town. The Jets are going to need some sort of trade offer that will get them to get what the Jaguars did with Jalen Ramsey. We know the Jaguars wanted to keep Jalen Ramsey, but at the end, they could not reject 2 first-round picks and a second-round pick. So that's what I have to say about that part.
I want to add something to what you were saying earlier about Jamal Adams leading the team in quarterback hits. And, that's an immediate problem for the person who's the safety on your team.
Exactly.
Number 2, if there's a team on that list that I immediately look at that you said the Jets really want to make sure that if they trade him, they get a good deal. I look no further than Houston. I mean, and the reason I say Houston is because of who their general manager is and what kind of drugs he might be in this. But if you're looking, honestly, if you are a team and you saw that DeAndre Hopkins trade, management not only laughing at you, number 1, but number 2, you have to look at it and think, can we finesse this guy for anything else? If they can get like 2 or 3 firsts for some reason out of Bill O'Brien for Jamal Adams, I'm taking that. Like,
they don't have because the Dolphins have all their picks.
That's also a good point because, Bill O'Brien. But whatever he has, trust me, I feel like he would offer it because he's not very smart, number 1. Secondly, I think that Jamal Adams, we were talking about it, not going in the right direction, already looking for different teams instead of settling here. But notice what happened to Jalen Ramsey when he did that. Mm-hmm. He wanted to go somewhere where he thought he could win a championship, and his team didn't even make the playoffs. So it's kind of like payback's a you know what. But I think
Karma.
Jamal Adams, the issue for him is if he goes over to another team and that team doesn't have the same success that he wants, then what's to say that Jamal Adams is not going to want out of, let's say he gets traded to Kansas City and they plummet. He's going to want out of Kansas City. It's just the way that Jamal Adams is. And so that's a problem for any team considering to sign him.
Yeah, I mean, just having that mentality and the lack of loyalty is never great, as you tend to lose respect as you go from team to team, and then you become a journeyman by the time you're like at 20 teams, like a whole Josh McCown kind of a thing, where he's just on 20 different teams. But for me, I think Jamal Adams I think they'll find a way to get him the money. The Jets have I think they have still a decent amount of money because they're not really paying that many people that much money, as they were able to snag Le'Veon Bell for
Hold on a second. I just want to stop you there. The problem is with him giving him money, I think his heart's almost set on a different place. That's the issue almost.
Yeah.
But
I mean, you told us at the beginning. You told us about the tweet in the Cowboys. I mean, if he goes to the Cowboys, then we got something else to talk about. But go on.
That'd be a joke if he goes to the Cowboys. But I think that if they were able to get the money that he wants, I think at this point, because I know he's looking for a winning team, but he's stated that the most thing that he wants right now is to become the highest paid safety in the league. And he's stated that he wants to look for $20 million a year, which would be a record for the safeties because nobody else in the league is getting paid that high. Mm-hmm. And if they're going to look to keep him, they have to match his offer, if not get close to his offer. But if they don't do that and they continue to say, oh, we'll maybe do something, and if they franchise tag him and just kind of ruin the whole thing, that will legitimately piss him off, and that will take him to the final step or the last straw and how they feel about where he will be going, and that will push him out of New York, and he'll probably find a better team that's going to be starting to win more, and he'll probably fit right in no matter where he goes.
So if he's going to be paid the highest safety, like you just said, the Cowboys are probably the destination because the Cowboys have all the money in Jerry's world. We all know that. But the problem with the Cowboys is they miss success. They're all good on paper, but they don't know how to execute. So if I had to guess where Jamal Adams was going, that is a tough question because of all the teams he wants to play for. They all, AKA, are very good teams or are going to go to the playoffs. So if I had to say something, I'm going to say Kansas City.
I think that would be the best fit for him, but I disagree with you.
Okay.
I think that Jamal Adams definitely is going to go, not where he wants, but he's going to give him that list. He's going to give management that list of teams. And basically what he's going to say is, pick one. And my guess is, as I was talking about just a couple minutes ago, I genuinely believe that the Jets go straight to Houston and immediately try and strike up a deal. I think that is where he goes first, if anywhere.
I would not doubt that because Joe Douglas is he's looking through those glasses and he sees Bill O'Brien, what he's doing in Houston, and he knows he's capable of getting a good deal out of him. So what you just said, if that happens, I wouldn't be too shocked if Houston gives up who knows how many picks for Jamal Adams.
Exactly. And then you're looking into like a Brooklyn Nets situation where they don't have a pick for the next 4 years. And then they fall into a deep eternal hell.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm gonna take a fun guess. Just say screw it, flip a coin because you guys took the Texans have the money. Because I'll just get over the other teams. Ravens, the Eagles, and the 49ers. They already have great safeties. They don't really need Adams at the moment, and they don't really have the money either to pay him. Where you look at other teams, like you guys said, the Cowboys, the Texans, the Chiefs to maybe get one more piece that they're missing to continue their dynasty, or the Seahawks. Bring back a boom. Come on.
Did you just say the Cowboys had a dynasty?
I said the Chiefs.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
You misheard me there. The Chiefs have their dynasty, but bring back the Legion of Boom in Seattle. Get Jamal Adams there, get those QB hits up, and just continue to stack that back line. Who knows? But I don't know. I think those are some great places to put it, and I don't think you guys we gave our opinions about where they're going to be going. I don't think we have anything else to say. Other than that the Jets offense still sucks. They were the 32nd in yardage, dead last. Just had to throw that in just because I love roasting the Jets. They were literally the worst offense yards-wise and the 31st worst in first downs. Screw you, the Jets. Jets, just. But
They're just terrible. Okay, all you need to
I will
say
say
is
one
they're
more thing,
terrible.
though.
okay.
Yeah. I will say one more thing, and I think that it is this. We thought that the Jets were on the uptrend last year. We thought that they may be a team that people watch out for, and we're sitting here about 365 days later saying, what the hell were we thinking?
Who are these people that were optimistic about the Jets? Because I wasn't optimistic about the Jets.
I was not.
Good for you. A lot of analysts, a lot of people were thinking, hey, Jets might have a chance there with Le'Veon Bell, blah, 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 blah. But Le'Veon is not panning out.
Okay.
Jamal Adams was good, but that defense is atrocious, and Sam Darnold did not progress as well as people thought. In fact, he probably regressed.
I mean, I get about the Le'Veon Bell thing. Yes, that is true. I understand where that comes from, but Sam Darnold, I did not expect a huge improvement within the next year. And Adam Gase is your coach. Adam Gase is your coach. You think you're going to improve under Adam Gase? Really?
We're going to learn how important a coach is to a team this year, especially with Dallas. We're going to learn how important a coach is. If it is that important that the Cowboys record flips and then we see the Jets go under different management next year, which I think is going to happen, we'll see how that goes. We're going to see how important a coach is, though. We'll really find out soon.
Exactly.
So Pete Carroll is important to the Seahawks. Can you agree with that?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
And you can agree John Harbaugh is important, or is it Jim or John for Harbaugh for the Ravens?
John.
Thank you. I think he's pretty important to that team's success.
Yeah, I don't know if that's mainly him, though, or if it's just Lamar being superhuman.
We'll see.
I mean, the Jets and the Cowboys in the opposite direction. Who knows what happens with that?
It's the Cowboys. The Cowboys will be the Cowboys. The Jets will be the Jets. But
exactly.
Hey, I don't know.
And if you're a Jets or Cowboys fan watching anywhere from the world, we deeply apologize. This is normal for our channel, and so especially the Cowboys. If you're a Cowboys fan. I feel bad for you, but at the same time, I don't.
There's 32 teams in the NFL. 31 of them all agree that the Cowboys suck and they will always suck. But
yes,
that we'll end it on that note.
All right, thanks for watching another episode of All About Sports and our comments about the Jets, Cowboys, whatever you have to say about those two teams. And we'll see you later for another episode. Take care.